So today I'm talking about the second chapter in my book, Creating a Self-Directed Learning Environment, Standards-Based and Social-Emotional Learning. This second chapter is all about social and emotional learning, and I use a framework that explores three popular SEL categories: self, social, and societal awareness and management. The youngest ages in classrooms today usually don't get too deep into that third category. Societal awareness for our littlest humans is really just their own observations of how we as adults interact with the larger world around us. The most we get into at those early ages are aspects of social awareness and relationships. And that's really only because it relates directly to their development of self-awareness and self-management. So our focus is mostly on the self category, which has three components: identifying and managing emotions, self-efficacy and improvement, and self-reflection and goal setting. And this category is important because we spend our entire lives thinking about and dealing with our emotions from infancy to childhood to adolescence and long into adulthood. So this self category is a big one, but it sets the foundation for the second category, social awareness and relationships, which also has three components: empathy and perspective, interpersonal skills, and conflict resolution. These develop to some degree in tandem with the self category throughout our childhood years. And as for that societal category, it only has two broad components: responsibility as it relates to rules and consequences, and concepts of caring and citizenship as it relates to community building. And so we can imagine how social awareness and relationships feed into that societal category, but also how self-awareness feeds into social awareness. So that whole framework reflects a larger development of us as individuals, us as groups, and us as populations. And so knowing how humans develop like this, with this framework for social and emotional learning, when we incorporate this with a standards-based approach to teaching and learning, what we get is a self-directed learning environment in a school setting. And what's important to remember is that we don't actually create the self-directed learning environment. It isn't something that comes with a checklist where a classroom is or is not self-directed. The standards-based approach, when a teacher has internalized it to the point where the approach can be taught to students, is what allows a teacher to have the time to coach these social and emotional competencies as opportunities come up with their students. Otherwise, we end up reserving a 30-minute block of time to teach a lesson on a social emotional competency that is never reiterated or reinforced in the everyday interactions between students, teachers, parents, and the community. And that's the big takeaway for me. When it comes to social and emotional learning, it can't be a curriculum people simply follow. It has to be more than that. It has to be the stuff that guides our behaviors, that helps us identify our feelings and emotions, and informs how we resolve conflicts in ways that inform how we view our societal roles and responsibilities. The value of social emotional learning is so much bigger than whatever 30-minute lesson a teacher gives in a classroom. And we have to keep that in mind as we work toward evolving the purpose of the classroom as a place where we aren't just learning how to read, write, and do math. We do that too, but we're also learning how to communicate with each other as much as we are with ourselves, and how to empathize beyond our own self-awareness, and how to reflect on the wide range of societal roles and responsibilities in places all around the world. And it's actually in this chapter, this second chapter, that I write, we don't teach academics, we teach humans. But to do that, we have to know how humans learn. And learning is largely an emotional-driven process. So if you haven't yet, read this second chapter of my book and let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.